we need to focus. Om, yeah, it should be long. Namo place ma is O related letter. We need to say long. Bhagavate, Bha is Mahaprana. Please make sure we need to stress on it. Yeah, please keep the palm closer and feel the air blow while pronouncing the Mahaprana. Bha, Bha. These two letters, Bha and Bha, are the lip related letters. So you have to tighten your lips and keep the palm closer. While pronouncing this letter, you have to feel the air blow. Bhagavate, Ta is again A related letter. We need to say long. Tubhyam, Bha Mahaprana. Yeah, here also we need to stress on the Bha as well as the Ya Sanyuktakshara. Move to the next pada. Vasudevaya Dhimahi. Vasudevaya Dhimahi. Place Dha Mahaprana. Please make sure. And while chanting the shloka, for your reference, keep the palm and feel the air blow where the Mahaprana letters comes. Dhimahi. Yeah, pada end of the letter is short letter. Don't drag as long. Next line, next pankti. Pradyumnayani ruddhaya. Pradyumna place Pa is having a Ra Sanyuktakshara. We need to stress on it. Da is having Ya Sanyuktakshara. From the year Lava, if you see any of the letter to adding to the main letter, adding means that Sanyukta, that place we need to stress on the Sanyuktakshara. Pradyumnayani ruddhaya. Here Ma is having a Na Sanyuktakshara. This Ma should be Halant M and the Na has to be long letter. Pradyumnayani ruddhaya. Again here also Da is having Alpa Prana, Da is having Mahaprana Dha Sanyuktakshara. Please stress on it and cross check by feeling the air blow through your Pa. Last pada. Nama Sankarshanaya cha. Nama, after that if you see this H dot, Visarga is there. Visarga in the middle of the pada, followed by letter is Sa. Yeah, instead of pronouncing the Visarga, yeah, better to stress on the Sanyuktaksha, the next letter as a double letter. Nama Sankarshanaya cha. Sankarshana place Ra is having second Sha Sanyuktakshara. For the second Sha, the right next letter is Zana. This is from the Ta group of letter. For these two letters, we have to roll our tongue. The tip of the tongue try to touch to the palate. It is the end dot, not the flat na. Sankarshanaya cha. Here also pada end of the letter is short letter. Quickly we'll go through the full shloka, then do one by one the pada, pankti and the full shloka, quarter by quarter, line by line and the full shloka. First time just listen carefully. From the second time onwards, please repeat twice along with the kid volunteer. Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnayani Ruddhaya Namas Sankarshanaya cha. First pada by pada. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam.
Vasudevaya Dhimahi.
Vasudevaya Dhimahi. Vasudevaya Dhimahi.
Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya.
Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya. Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya.
Namas Sankarshanaya cha.
Namas Sankarshanaya cha. Namas Sankarshanaya cha.
Now we'll do the line by line, pankti by pankti. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi.
Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi.
Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya नमः संकर्षणाय च
प्रद्युम्नाय निरुद्धाय नमः संकर्षणाय च प्रद्युम्नाय निरुद्धाय नमः संकर्षणाय च
Hari Om. Now we'll do the complete shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya Namah Sankarshanaya Cha.
ॐ नमो भगवते तुभ्यं वासुदेवाय धीमहि प्रद्युम्नाय निरुद्धाय नमः संकर्षणाय च ॐ नमो भगवते तुभ्यं वासुदेवाय धीमहि प्रद्युम्नाय निरुद्धाय नमः संकर्षणाय च
Hari Om Shri Krishna Namaskar.
Namaste. Welcome back. Thanks to our volunteers for helping all the attendees to learn the shloka. Pronunciation is most important while chanting the shloka to get the proper benefit out of it. This is from Bhagavata. I want to talk about something from this shloka itself. Next session onwards, I want to get into some specific message or significance, the rituals we have been following. Let us understand the importance and greatness of each and every the practice or ritual, and try to understand the connect ourselves, learn something. Today we learned one shloka, Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Aniruddhaya Namah Sankarshanaya Cha. Specifically, we are taking the name of Lord, the four specific names, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshana. Narada gives message to us, the importance of this special prayer. All rituals, we have to start with same sankalpa. Last the session we learned one shloka, Namo vastatvika deva Vishnu bhakti parayana dharma marge prerayantu bhavantas sarvayevahi. We learned something during that session as well. All goes according to the ultimate wish of God Almighty. All the devatas are there. They are giving us opportunity, ability to live in this world with all proper the karma opportunities. Especially, we are able to see, able to listen, able to walk, able to talk. Everything is kind of miracle only. Whatever we call as miracle, that is beyond our imagination or beyond our limitation or beyond our control. So Narada says, Amayoyam cha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata tadeva hyamayaddravyam tatpamani chikisyatam. We need the solution for all our problems, or we want to have the peaceful, good, healthy life. What kind of wealth and health we need? Everything, laukika, adhyatmika, internal and external, both. For all purpose, we have to do so many things in our life, day-to-day life. That is what called as Jeevana. We get up, we prepare our food, we take care of our children or our duty, job, all the vyavahara we call as. There is kind of like the rule or the regulation we have to go through. We have to have the karma. Without such actions, it is impossible to live in this world. As soon as we get into this world, the karma, the count begins. Now we are talking about the spiritual and religious thing. This shloka especially, this is going to go almost the several upcoming maybe 7-8 sessions to understand. If you take the elaborate meaning of each, the specific name described here. The simple meaning of this shloka is Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi. Vasudeva, God Almighty, you are the one, the most powerful. I admire your greatness. I surrender to you completely, the Sharanagati. Vasudeva, you are the one, the creator. Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshana, Vasudeva, in very, very brief, we are calling as you are the creator. You are the one, so because of you, every entire world is getting sustained. You are the one that taking care of each and everyone in this universe. And there is no limit for you. You are the one that destroyed Sankarshana. And you are the one giving the ultimate bliss called the Moksha Vasudeva. That is what the simple meaning of it. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. We can relate everything. During all such sankalpa, beginning of any ritual, we have to have the sankalpa and we listen the specific word many times. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Mokshakhya, Chaturvidha Punya Phala Purushartha Siddhyartham. That is what we need. Dharma. Everything has to be in the path of the dharma only. There is system for everything. Even atheists, even they have to have some system, or they have to have something, the law they have to go through, right? Otherwise, if the people this live in this world doing whatever they want and without any such restrictions or some no rules or regulation at all, there is no control. There must be a system which is called dharma. Dharmo hi jagatah pratishtha. Everything has to have a system or proper the structure, how it has to be, right? So for to build a house, we are following something. To get a cell phone or car, everything, we need something, the specific, some measurement, or it has to be in that proper way to get the proper benefit out of it. That is called the system. In simple or in easy explanation of dharma, it is a system, the structure, how it has to be like this. So we are following anything, any ritual means it has to be in proper structure, then only we can get the benefit out of it. First of all, we are surrendering to Lord Almighty with this special shloka. You can also call this as the elaborated version of Dwadashakshara mantra. What mantra we call as the Dwadashakshara Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dhruva, he took the Upadesha from Narada and he did the tapas for several months. He could get the aparoksha darshana, realization of God Vasudeva. How he got his anugraha blessed, we know that. So this shloka is considered as the elaborated version or the simple or easy version of that mantra. Any mantra, we have to take the proper upadesha from a guru, and we have to follow certain rules and regulations, and we have to follow that kind of the rule into our day-to-day life also. Getting something, some responsibility means we are following and we are giving some respect. But this kind of specific some special shloka, there are no restrictions at all. You can chant at any time, anywhere you are, and there is no restrictions at all. So that is how we are getting blessed with such great anugrahas. Anybody can chant at any time. This is what one of the most powerful mantras. Iti murti abhidhanena mantramurtim amurtikam yajate yajna purusham sasamyak darshana kuman. The next sentence, Narada says, this is the most powerful and God Almighty, how he is. So everything has been described here. Just take the name. That is the important thing. We are getting into the path of the Dharma Marga. Then onwards, he will take you towards the destination. You will be having his anugraha. So with this is considered as a seed, bija mantra. Somehow you're going to get opportunity. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate, as Sri Krishna says in Gita. We may have to go through several lives. Let it be there. That is fine. Okay, now getting into the rituals part. That is what the important thing. What are our duties? First of all, now let us talk about the puja and so many samskaras. And we are following some, for example, the Yugadi celebration, you listen to the Panchanga Shravana, the Jyotisha, the astrology, how important it is. To build a house, the Vastu, and how and what are the messages we have to get from. And how we have to have the limit for everything. And is it possible to have control like about our challenge or difficulties and anything? The simple question we may ask. Recently, one person, he was asking me, is there anything simple mantra or anything, some upaya we call as, to get rid of the challenges immediately or to become a very successful man? Everyone wants the way which has to be very shortcut and simple to attain success easily. How it is possible? As per my opinion, like I feel that there is no miracle in this world. Everything is practical. If someone is getting benefited or suddenly comes, means there must be some amount of punya or effort which is invisible. That is how our Swamiji says, there is no adrushta in this world. The specific meaning of that adrushta, drushta means something visible, adrushta invisible. What is that? The karma only. Karma of our past life, or which we are not having any access, like easy access to reach. Of course, God has everything under his control. He is the one giving everything. Okay, what is our duty? How to get the karma and the benefit out of it? It is very simple or easy to say that we have to have nishkama karma. We are not supposed to expect anything at all. But basic needs, we have to have it. If you are hungry, you have to ask someone to feed you. Then how it is possible to say or bring that into action in practical life? Nishkama karma. Yes, that is the next step or next level. Too much expectation should not be there. That is what. We have to have something, some connection. We have to have something to begin. Okay, now, first thing, having faith. And second one, we have to get attached with that towards the greatness of God. The bhakti is called attachment as per the explanation of Jagadguru Madhvacharya in Tatparya Nirnaya. Sneho bhakti riti proktaha tayamuktihi nachanyata. Attachment towards the which is very strong or something going to be there forever, which is God. Have him all the time, just having that sankalpa, whatever my action, that is for just to please him, nothing else. One person or one supreme being, he is there always with me, he is watching. That's all. We have to have the connection towards him. That is called ekankarata. How to get that? First of all, during the rituals, whatever action we are taking, whatever karma we are doing, first level, the first step is the humble connection towards him. Sankalpaha karma manasam. That is the reason we start with some sankalpa. The ritual, all ritual, anything even if it is like the samskara, we call as the upanayana, namakarana, vivaha, and all such things, or we are having some day-to-day sandhya vandana, nitya puja, or everything. What sankalpa means? There are two things. One is the some specific words we are using, some from the specific we call as the Grihya Sutras from our scriptures. So this must be like in Sanskrit language and all these things. Another, the important thing here is, without sankalpa, is it okay to do anything, or is it okay to follow something? Fine, that is fine. But first of all, the sankalpa begins from our mind itself. Before taking any action, we have to have something. Oh, okay, I'm going to do this one. We have to dedicate some time. We cannot have so many things together, right? This person, like a doctor, is doing the surgery, means so he has to dedicate everything. He has to keep his cell phone somewhere and no conversation with others. So he has to have the proper uniform, the dress and everything, because the reason is the job he is doing, the duty is very important. He has to have the 100% concentration. Otherwise, there are possibilities of committing mistakes, errors. Same thing. The sankalpa, the thing is to getting to like connected. That's all. Making our mind connected. That is how we have to start with. Then how we have to have that attachment or ekagrata, concentration. Of course, if you love your job, if you have something like affection towards what you are doing with all love and affection, you can get definitely connected. Otherwise, sometimes we may feel like bored, we may get the sleep during that time, or meditation, all such things. To avoid all these things, the only the possibility is, only option we are having is, we have to build the interest. Every time we have to have that alert, the feeling all the time, we have to love it. Then we definitely get into it easily, and we can go through easily, and we are getting the benefit out of it. How it is possible? The humble, shamo manishtata buddhi, dama indriya nigraha, Lord gives the simple solution for that. The two things. One is called as shama. The second one is called as dama. The first of all, damo manishtata buddhi, dama, surrender, sharanagati. I am not here. Let us give up our ego and concentrate, sharanagati. Whatever we are doing, not for to show off, or not to get something, or not to to show whatever you are having. Nothing. I am doing. Nothing belongs to me. Everything is your creation. Everything around is your arrangement I am having. I am just doing the seva. The humble, the sharanagati, that is what the first requirement. Second one is damaha indriya nigraha. Of course, when we have some sankalpa, when we take some kind of decision, we are getting into, okay, this is what I am doing. So many distractions may come from around, internally, especially from our indriyas, senses, right? So when the sankalpa is very strong, for example, if you are taking some kind of an occupation in your life, so many people around you, they may criticize you. They may tell about, some words which may not like, that may discourage you. It's okay, let it be there. But if you love that, and you are definitely the fond of it, whatever you are doing, the taking the any kind of profession or occupation, nothing will bother you. You just ignore, because you love it. That is hard. That is how we have to start with any kind of rituals. That is how the sankalpa has to begin, and then we are definitely getting into it, and we will enjoy. Of course, the benefit, the fruit of it, that is ours. Okay, that is for today. We have a lot to talk about this. We will continue upcoming sessions. Now, let us dedicate our time for today's dhyana of Sri Krishna. Let us, as usual, have the image of Sri Krishna in our mind and try to concentrate, forget all other things, listening to the Krishna Namasmaranam. Let us do the dhyana.
Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. 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 ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय नमः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय नमः।
Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. I request Mahesh ji to take over.
Om Shri Guru Raghavendraya Namaha. In the last 15 or so sessions, we have covered quite a bit of ground in looking at various topics, from how the mind works, how the mind-body connection happens, how our connection between each of us happens, how we look at desires, how we look at sins. Covered quite a bit, and I would like to continue today with a topic that's near and dear, which is adoration and love for the Supreme. There's always this confusion and there's always this doubt within us. Even though we take the name of the Supreme, we take the name of Ishvara, we take the name of Krishna, there are these moments where we forget this universal energy that is sustaining all of us. And that's where I want to spend some time today to talk about that. With Krishna's grace, talk about that. And then we'll open it up for question and answers. So when we talk about adoration or love for the divine, you can look at it in love translated in the more scriptural and the spiritual terminology is bhakti, and as Yogendraji was saying, getting into that mode of Sharanagati. When you look at it from that aspect, you can see there are two tracks you can take. One is conditional, and the other one is absolute. And we all in our daily lives, unfortunately or fortunately, look at this adoration, this affection in these two terms, conditional and absolute. Let's understand what these two paths mean. That helps us give us a bit more background onto it. When it is conditional, in general, there is that devotion and affection. However, there are moments of time where a doubt creeps in. And the doubt manifests as a question on your faith and belief itself overall. And in those moments, the doubts come up as questions saying, is this fair? Why does it happen to me? Do I really deserve this? Wherever there is a conditional form of affection, particularly towards Krishna, the Supreme Valentine, today is Valentine's Day, a lot of people are celebrating it. We are fortunate that we have a Supreme Valentine, a constant Valentine all the time through our multiple births. And the beauty of it is both the spouses, if you are married, can always have the same Valentine. So in this case, that affection and love towards that Valentine is, when it's conditional, creeps in with these doubts. And whenever it is conditional, you have an element of breakage, because that affection can break in certain points. In some other points, it may not. You have a feeling of burden or responsibility, saying you feel that it's an additional piece of work you need to do to maintain that love or affection. In addition to everything I need to do in life, I need to take out time to connect to Krishna. I need to take out time to pray. So it feels like there is an additional burden or responsibility. And lastly, there is an element of fear when you don't do the about two, particularly when there is a breakage in that connection, or when you feel you're not fulfilling your burden or responsibility, there is an element of fear. What will happen because I did that? And then you go into a prayaschitta mode, and then you say, to overcome this, I need to do 10 more things. So that is what happens when you go into a conditional mode of affection. But then there is this there's the second path, which unfortunately many of us don't seem to take regularly, which is the absolute path. And in absolute path, there is no ifs, buts, or a because. It is what it is. So there is no question of a doubt or a breakage of the connection. The connection is the default nature of who you are. So that cord is always established. There's no question of that getting rusted or broken or having any doubt. It doesn't matter what the situation is, the cord is always there in that absolute form of affection. And the second element there is that is part of the fabric of who you are. It is, the common example is when you say something is white or something is black, blackness, whiteness is an integral part of that white when you say something is white or when you say something is black. Same way, when you're in an absolute mode of affection, that bhakti or that ability to surrender and have that love is integral to who you are. And when you have those first two, then the third aspect is not fear, but it is faith. So in the conditional part, there is a breakage aspect, there is a burden, and there is fear. In the absolute path, it is what it is, that's the default. It is the very nature of who you are, and there is faith. So how do you go about this conditional and this absolute approaches? This is where experience and knowledge come into play. Experience and knowledge come into play. Let me briefly talk about experience and knowledge, and then you will hopefully get this. When we talk about experience, essentially we are talking about events or situations that you analyze, and you adopt. Sometimes you may not analyze, but you may just adopt. So when you repeatedly go through certain events or situations, you say that is my experience. If you analyze it well, then you may probably change that meaning of that experience. That's where knowledge comes in. Knowledge helps you to analyze it and validate it better. Knowledge helps you analyze and validate the experience better. So it tells you, is that a good experience or a bad experience? So depending upon how much you're stressing your knowledge, you can say, is my affection to Krishna conditional or absolute? Because whenever you feel there is an element of conditionality in there, let's say a loved one in my family passes away, and if that individual is, let us say, only 15 years old or 20 years old, I could say, how could this happen? It is so unfair. And the moment I say it is unfair, that means I'm conditional. But with knowledge, I can actually evaluate and say, is that really conditional or is it absolute? Because the ability and my connection and my faith has to be absolute. The situation is somebody passed away. If I pass away, it doesn't mean somebody else has to grieve and say, how can life be unfair? He passed away. No, it is what happens. So there is that. So knowledge helps us to validate our experience. And the more and more we adopt knowledge to analyze our experience, the more and more you start tuning your tendency or intellectual capacity. We looked at this in that example of the elephant and the mahout, where how you tune your tendency or vasanas, as they say, how you tune your tendencies and capacity depends upon how much knowledge you exercise every second and every minute. Now, this needs to happen 24 hours a day. We heard in the first sloka about the four forms of Krishna or the Supreme Narayana. We heard about that. essentially corresponding to the waking state, the dreaming state, the deep sleep state, and the Antaryam in which is Vasudeva. We looked at all the four forms there when we said Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Sankarshana, and Vasudeva. We looked at all the four forms. So this ability to have an absolute love, the ability to have knowledge and experience guide us is required in all these four states. And of course, it's most important in the waking state, because the waking state will then help us guide our dream and deep sleep state. With that, let's open it up for questions today. Krishna Arpanamastu.
I am Shri Krishna. The bridge is now open for the questions, and through chat or by audio also. I am Shri Krishna. And you just like to send one piece of information to all the participants that going forward, all the related information relating to the Jeevana Dharma will be sent in the WhatsApp groups only. So we have sent the details. Also, we are posting it here for benefit of all the participants. So we request participants to join this WhatsApp group so that you keep updated about the next session information and also all the material that we share in this class. Hari Om Shri Krishna.
When there are no questions or very few questions, it means the purpose of Jeevana Dharma is being achieved, because there is so much clarity in everyone. Feel free though to keep asking.
Namaste. This is Tanuja here. Hari Om. Nayana.
The last sentence you said is very correct. Your speech was very clear, and like that's why I mean yours and Yogendra Acharya's speech was very good. So I have no questions.
Krishna. Thank you, Ma.
That is good. Nobody has, the questions, but I have one question for all of you.
Namaskar, Acharya. There's one question also on the bridge. Yeah, you could go ahead and then we could take discussion.
No, we'll come up later. So let us answer that question.
Yeah, on Dwadashi days, it is said that we shouldn't oil our hair and wash as the lifespan will be reduced. Can you explain, please? Hari Om Shri Krishna.
Okay, let me come to that point anyway. So when we are talking about the rituals, so there are so many rituals and day-to-day practices. Like we are taking oil bath, and we are having shaving the haircut done. That is also we considered as rituals only. So some days, for example, the Dwadashi, so that is what, so many Purana, they insist the importance of Upavasa, Ekadashi fasting. Dwadashi day, now we have to look at the importance, the most important thing here is the research has to be done on this. All tithis we calculate, look at that. That is from moon only. Always I give an example, like if you look at the ocean tides, how it is related to Amavasya and Purnima, right? So that means we have some connection even though the moon is very far from us. We have some connection which is affecting some physical, mental also. That is the reason. So during sometimes Amavasya, full moon day, some small children, we call it the Chinna Dosha. There are so many things. So some small kids, they like they feel kind of restless and they become very cranky. Those days, why? That is the reason some tithis they suggest as, so for some things it is okay, for some things it is not okay. That means it is not like the very something bad going to happen to you. Not like that. Mrityu, then now let us understand the meaning of Mrityu. There are the 7 varieties of Mrityu we call as Apamrityu, Kalamrityu, Janma Mrityu, like that. We have a specific name. Mrityu means some disturbance we can call as. So if we are not able to lift our hand, that is like, we're going to lose something in our body, our ability. So that is slowly, it may not be like, good to keep our health all the time in good spirit. So one thing I have to notice here. So for example, the oil bath means, you know what? When you take oil bath, right? If you take the full massage and put oil on your head and take your own time and take the bath with very warm water, you feel sleepy, right? So that is how when you are having something in the most important thing, work you have to do, you may not be able to concentrate. So you need to have some relax and some time to dedicate for that kind of things. I think that must be the reason. And again, the statement is very clear. Sarve vidhi nishedhasyaku etayoreva kinkaraha smartavyah smatatam satatam Vishnu. So there we are not getting any kind of threat here. Nothing going to happen. That means giving some importance, bringing some like a realization about God. That's it. To have something there, the smaranam of Lord in your mind. Or so otherwise we don't take as serious we may be sometimes. So okay, God may not be happy with such actions, so I'm not supposed to do this. Or if my dad is home, the dad may not like it, I'm not going to do it. That's all the things here. So finally, I make it very short. There must be some reason which we don't know, or we may have some more study on it. Number 2 is like awareness of God. So that is what the Shastra's instruction.
There is one question, Yogendraji. Probably you can take this. What is the best time to do puja, especially in the morning and evening in home every day?
Okay. So best time means Yasmin Kaspin Dine Martyah Bhakti Shraddha Samanvita. The statement of Skanda Purana. Time, date, that is to have the discipline in our life. So we have to dedicate some time. That means what time I have to have lunch. Lunch has to be, there is a specific time. Otherwise we call it as the breakfast or we call it as dinner or something else, right? The puja, all these things that we have to dedicate some time. So the last time also, I think beginning of some sessions I mentioned, Yam Sada Sarva Bhutani Sthavarani Charani Cha Sayam Prataha Namasyanti. If like now we don't have that practice. So when during like the old time, I mean the village life, everybody having cow, and after giving the morning food to them or taking care of them, taking them, milking them, they leave the cows, they go out. Then they come on their own. We don't have to call them, we don't have to send them like in a message or GPS map. They go around all the way several miles and they find their own food and whatever the good for them, their health, they take it, they come back the specific time. That means the time. Naturally, we have some time, we have to dedicate. That is called the Sandhya. Especially it is suggested during sunrise or the before sunrise or evening, the sunset time. That is called the Sandhya Kala. So for example, for Sandhya Vandana, Uttama Surya Sakita, Madhyama Lupta Taraka, Adhama Tarakopeta. That means we can also relate this one to our puja time. The best time is before sunrise. The morning puja means the meditation or the Sandhya Vandana or chanting the sloka. The best time is before sunrise, and which is very dark. You can see the stars on the sky. That is the best time. The medium, the madhyama. So sunrise, sun is not completely visible. Then just a few minutes before sunrise means the brightness over there, you can feel it. So when sunrise is going to happen, slowly the darkness will be will be gone. No stars. You cannot find any, stars are not visible. That is the madhyama kala. The adhama after sunrise is considered as the third option we are having. But during evening time, the best time is before sunset, and the third option is dark. So somehow we have to make it. That doesn't mean we are not supposed to do it all when you are so late. No, the best practice for us, this is how we have to maintain, and that will generate concentration. That finds you definitely find the satisfaction whatever you are doing. So that affection, that connection, that spiritual ability, energy we are having, that is most important, and that is how they suggest as a morning time, the before sunrise, or evening, the before sunset, if possible.
Thanks, Acharya. There's one more question on what is the difference between love and duty towards Krishna? The question.
If you go ahead, then I will.
Sure. And I'll take that. I'll also answer the other one, which is around love and devotion. How can I judge whether my love and devotion are conditional or absolute? So if I understood the first question correctly, what Srikant read is, what is the difference between love and duty towards Krishna?
Yes.
Okay. Love for Krishna is absolute. Love for Krishna has to be absolute. Love for Krishna has no ifs and buts associated with it. Duty for Krishna is how you demonstrate that love. Duty for Krishna is how you demonstrate that love. Just saying I love somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you love that person unless you're demonstrating that through the action, the thoughts, and your behavior. And so the duty is how you demonstrate that love. Now, the duty aspect of it is not for outsiders. The demonstration of love is not for outsiders. The demonstration of love is internally within you. Internally within you. I was having this discussion the other day with one individual who said, look, I took this, I have a guru, I have an acharya, and the acharya and guru gave me this mantra. And he said, since I've given you this mantra, now it is as good as Sharanagati for you. The fact is, just because I received that mantra doesn't make me eligible for the Sharanagati. I need to keep practicing it. I need to keep executing it. I need to perform my duty. And again, that is not for outsiders. That is just for who I am. Who I am. So yes, love is default. That is an absolute. Duty is how you demonstrate it. Which links to the next question. How can I judge whether my love and devotion are conditional or absolute? I'll give a very simple answer, sir. Then I'll give you some specifics. Whenever you feel your love, in this case to Krishna, maybe you could expand it to others as well. But whenever you feel it is transactional in nature, then clearly it is conditional. Because a transaction can always break, and transactional can always be left incomplete. So whenever you feel your connection is transactional in nature, then it is absolutely conditional. Absolutely conditional. When you don't feel it is transactional, but you feel that it is what it is who you are, and it is like going back to my divine parents. and you always know that your divine parents are always there for you, and if you consider Krishna as your divine parent, it is no longer transactional. Yes, there may be moments where you don't get what you want, but there isn't any doubt about Krishna giving you better than what you deserve. So there's no more transactional involved, no more handshake involved there. And that is what we keep saying when we talk about surrender. That is exactly what we say. That is when we say, when you worship, that is what we say. There's no more transactional activity involved in there. You are completely giving up yourself, knowing pretty well that you don't have Krishna there sitting in front of an inbox every day looking at your requests. Looking at your request or making a specific ask to Krishna saying, do this for me. No, then you are insulting Krishna, because Krishna should absolutely know what you want, if that is what it is. That is why you surrender, you worship, so that it is not about telling Krishna, reminding Krishna, do this for me. It is saying, whatever I do, it is on your name. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it because of you. I'm doing it in your name. And you surrender and you do it in that sense. So again, anytime you get a sense of transactionality, clearly it is conditional. When there is no transaction involved, then it is absolute. Hope that answers the question, sir.
Hari Om Shri Krishna. Yeah, we don't have any more questions on the chats. Thanks, Maheshwari. Hari Om Shri Krishna. You could take it in from the audio.
I have one question regarding the answer which Yogindra gave. The sunset Sandhya Vandane, sunset. I mean the Sandhya Vandane which is done during sunset. Here in summer, sunset happens around 8:39 p.m. So is it okay to do Sandhya Vandane at 6 p.m. like which is like 3 hours before the sunset?
Yeah, of course. It is before sunset. It is mentioned. Uttama Surya Sahita, with Surya. That is what the beautiful the demonstration here. Of course, with the Surya we have to do. Okay, that is the one. And next, so I had mentioned like earlier. I have a question for all of you. So how you feel your own affection and love towards your daily prayers, whatever day you are doing. So I want to have your own experience in a few sentences. The question for all of you. So it may help also to help you to make it very effective and as per the Krishna's wish. As Maheshji was talking about the absolute love. That is what Krishna loves, right? Tadaham bhaktya upahritam asnami. Krishna says, you have to combine the both, your duty, and it has to be with love. So how it has to be? Is it, how people are, how many people are fortunate to have that kind of, concentration and that kind of ability? No, Krishna says, prayatatmana, try. So if you try, that is enough. So I will take you towards further. So now I want to have your own experience while you are doing anyway, chanting the shlokas, or doing the puja or japa or doing any such actions, how you are able to connect and how much love and affection or concentration you are getting into. So please write your experience in a few sentences to info@krishnavrinda.org. And
we have one question. Can we take that before we wrap it up, Srikantore?
Sure, yes, Maheshwari. Yeah, please.
Okay. So in Sri Satyanarayana Katha, the devotion seems to be conditional. Am I right? So let me say this. Let me give you how you have to view these kathas and all the stories. All these kathas and stories have been written in such a way, have been said in such a way that there is an intent and a message being communicated. There's an intent and a message. So it's not about the literal meaning of, I did not do this, that's why this will happen. I did not do that, that's why I got inflicted by this disease or ailment and all of that. That is not the literal meaning of it. The literal meaning of it is you need that discipline, you need that love, you need that duty mindset when you are performing that puja. So as an example in the Satyanarayana Katha, it's not about the fact that the message there is when you're performing the puja, when you're worshipping Krishna, don't stop it in between and just walk away just because you got distracted. No, keep your distractions to the side, dedicate yourself completely. Everything else is to teach a lesson. I mean, it's the same way like what we say to a small kid. If you don't brush your teeth, there will be insects and worms that creep into your teeth, we say that. And we say that because we want the child to brush his or her teeth every day properly. Till the child comes to an age where the child can understand that he or she needs to brush their teeth regularly without anybody telling. And that is the maturity we are expecting, and we all have to get on to that mode of that maturity. So yes, initially we may think, yes, if you don't do this, that will happen. But the real message there is, do it. Worship there, be in that mode of doing it. So yes, sir, for that question being asked, does it appear to be conditional? On the surface of it, in plain letters and words, yes, it appears to be conditional, but the real intention of it is different.
Yes, Maheshji. That is to just attract the people who are completely ignorant. That is the one thing. The second one is, like, of course, there is the main purpose, the main goal is specific. So having the bhakti and the devotion completely unconditional, some devotion, absolute devotion towards Lord. So that is how the main dish is rice. So to make it very attractive, we come up with all other things, and we're going to have semini like a chitranna and mosuranna like that. So these are all just to elaborate, which is the main course here. So, and again, the Puranas are having several meanings and several languages: Samadhi Bhasha, Darshana Bhasha, Guhya Bhasha, and whatever we are looking at the overall meaning, that is not at all. We have to get into deep. Each has different views and several different meanings as well. Of course, thank you so much for all your interest and participation, involvement, dedicated volunteers as well. May Krishna accept our today's Jnana Karya Seva. Krishna, now let us meet at our next session. 2 weeks.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Hari Om Shri Krishna Namastu.
Hari Om Shri Krishna.
Hari Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha.
Hari Om Shri
Krishna.
Hari Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha.